You can find this course on schooldesign.net. Join on Facebook website and group. You can find course and files on patreon.com. So in this part we are going to talk how to create placeholder. Placeholder are the projects that are mostly used to create some templates that can be later used in a different type of video presentation. So this type of templates are very useful because very fast you can change the text and make it compatible with your present presentation. In this example, we are going to make the placeholder rather for architecture presentation, but you can also use it for any different type or different category. So we will start with some logo company, with some transition. There will be the scene, we present some text. So you can see that all the graphics we will prepare in this example together with this transition, with this animation for the text. So you can see that this is very nice looking and professional presentation that can be used in your company. So everything that you could see on this example will be included in this part of video. So our work, we need to start with create the correct hierarchy of our folders, because it is good to know where to find all necessary objects that can be later replaced by other graphics, or where to find text that will be also modified. So the first we will create the folder edit comp. Here we will put all the composition that will be modified in the future. So we will start, of course, with the audio, because audio is necessary to put it on the background, and there will be also other elements, for example, like images and videos. So we put here all the composition that included all the assets like graphics. There will be also logo and of course the text, and all this folder we will put inside edit comp. The next folder will be a folder that is necessary for our project to work, and this will be work comp, and this won't be editable. So it means that we will create it once, and this will be required for working, but there will be no any future update. The first folder will be assets. We upload here all the necessary graphics, videos, images, and many other. The third will be, of course, the solids folder that will be created automatically by After Effects. And now we are ready to create our first composition, and this will be the final. The final, it means that this is our final assembly, so all our other composition we will put inside our final one. The resolution will be standard with full HD. I don't use any 2K or 4K because this will require also very high quality graphics, video, and so on. So right now we will stay with the standard one. Okay, so this is our final, and the final composition we will put exactly under our assets folder. Now we can start to create the other composition. I will use the plugin to speed up my work, because I would like to show you as more as I can in this video tutorial. So I will not go in any different type of submenu. So we'll start with the new composition, and this composition will be called the intro, and the intro will be put it inside our work comp, because this is one of the objects that will be used in our work comp, but this won't be editable in the future. And now we can add another composition, intro image placeholder. So this means that in this composition we will make any different modification in the future, and we need to place it in our edit comp. So this means that if we would like to make any changes in the future, then we need to go to edit comp, image video, and intro image placeholder. What is more, intro image placeholder we will put inside our intro. So this means that intro will always stay the same, but if you would like to modify our movie for intro, we need to go into intro image placeholder. As my background, I will put this video with the city view, and I will move it to our assets, because this is some kind of additional graphics. Now I'm going to intro image placeholder, and I will put here our video. As you can see, our video is a little too short, so I will duplicate it and I will make it longer in a very simple way. And this is not important how you connect, and that there will be some jump between and the beginning. Well, this is because it will be in the background, so nobody will notice that there is some connection between the two layers. Okay, I also trim the whole length of this intro image placeholder, and right now we will add some effects, and there will be a new adjustment layer, and I will apply a transform, and I will rename it to the scale, because I would like to make this movie scale for whole time. So we are going to the end, and we will set the scale to 100, and at the beginning the scale will be 100. So now you can see that there is still some kind of rescale during playing this animation. Right now we will add the black solid. I will change the color for this black solid to the blue one, and I will add the tint effects. So, and I will apply it to our solid. And for the map black to the blue one, and map white to some kind of orange. So you can copy this number for your project. And of course we need to decrease the opacity to 18.5, and as you can see now, we can see in our city from our background. Okay, so now we can add the new text layer. So it will be a new composition, and we'll call it intro text. So this means that this text will be inside our intro layer, and we have the intro text. So right now we are going to our intro text, and we will add some ipsum generator. Okay, and I will paste it. I will also make some alignment, so I will put this text inside our layer. Okay, and we are ready. So the next thing that we can add is the animation for our text. So we are going to make opacity, and at the beginning it will be 0%. Okay, and after a few seconds we will change it to 100. And now you can see that thanks to our range selector, this will make that our text will appear in some period of time. Make sure that in advance you have the percentage based on character, and amount is for 100. So this will give you ability to display all the text. And next we will create some shape layer with the line. For our line, this will be easy animation. I will extend it manually. Anchor point to the middle. What's more, we'll add some transformation, so the line will appear together with the text. So we are going to transform scale. At the beginning it will be 0%, and for example in 1 second 29 it will be 100, and of course motion blur. So you can see that the line will appear together with our text. So as you can see, this will look quite nice and really interesting. I can also add easy E for my line to make the animation more smooth. And now we are go to our intro layer, and I will again copy the tint effects and I will paste it for our intro text, but this time we will change some color. Map black to the red one, and map white to the yellow. Okay, maybe we'll little change it. Okay, so now you can see that our line is yellow, the text is white, so this will look really nice. And of course the intro text we will put inside the edit comp, because this will be editable in the future. And the next we will create the new layer, and it will be called light background, so light BG. We will put this inside work comp because we will not change it anymore in the future. This will be done only once at the beginning. And we are going to create the shape layer. Okay, so this will be the rectangle, and we'll add two masks in the opposite direction, and we will change the background color to the black one, and our mask will change to add and add, and we will select our mask with color to red one. Okay, and there will be a mask further for 720 for the first one and for the second one. So you can see that we have some kind of gradient right now. Right now we are going to intro, and I will put here our light background, and I will change the blending mode to the screen. So you can see that now we have some quite nice looking effects, and of course light background is in our work composition. And now we are going to add intro logo. So we just add this composition, and here we will put all the text or graphics which will be used as a logo for our presentation. And of course intro logo will be placed in edit comp in logo. This is because it will be modified in the future. So right now intro logo is placed in our intro, and in the next part we'll work with the next objects. Okay, so we are start with creating the text. So there will be new composition and intro, logo, placeholder. So it means that here we just put the title. Okay, so in the intro logo we place intro logo placeholder, and right now we are in the intro logo placeholder, so new text, and we will add some title. Of course, we will change the font color and the font size. So we will add here some title. Right now I will just try to cut it. Remember to leave some more space because sometimes the logo could be longer. And we will use the crop and trim. So right now we move intro logo placeholder to our images video edit comp because in future this part will be editable. Next we will add some adjustment layer and we will add some mask. Okay, so the mask will be easy, something like this, and of course the effect with fill. Thanks to that, with the fill we will decide what color will be. Of course, right now I will add something like this. This will be some blue, and the screen. And here I will just make some tips. I will just duplicate the text and I will use it as a alpha mate. Right now I will be sure that the color will be always the same for my text, and without changing this adjustment it won't be able to replace it. Okay, so right now I will put my title, but first I will try to trim it. So I will just trim like with these shapes. Okay, maybe I will more cut it from the bottom and trim comp. Okay, so now our logo is placed above a yellow line, and now it is good to make some animation for this logo and to make it appear during the whole animation will start. Okay, so we will add the position for the first keyframe, and for the second one we will just move the text below. And now this is quite easy animation with the strong easy E. So this means that the text will appear faster at the beginning, it will be slower and slower. Okay, and of course we need to add some shape layer, and we need to create the mask. The mask of course must be with the white color, and then we change to the alpha inverted. So as you can see, our text will appear from the shape layer. So remember about changing the color to the white on the shape layer for alpha inverted. Okay, so this is how our text will be look like, and we are going to the final, and in the final we will put the intro. So the intro is the first part of our presentation, and in the next step we need to create some additionally scene. So we will start with the scene 1. So this means that here we will put more and more text with some presentation. The first one will be scene 1 transition, and here we will create some type of transition and we'll move it to the work comp because this won't be changes in the future. And next we will create the scene 1. And to the scene 1 transition we will insert the scene 1, because scene 1 transition will include some effects about the transition, and scene 1 will be about the presentation. So we start with the scene 1 image. Scene 1 image and placeholder, and here we will put all the graphics inside this composition. Okay, and right now we are in scene 1 image placeholder, and from the image placeholder I will copy the background, because I will also use it in my scene 1 image placeholder. So I will also need this background movie, so it is good to copy it to speed up our work. In the scene 1 I place scene 1 image placeholder, and I will move the scene 1 image placeholder into edit comp and scene 1 into work comp, because work comp, as I mentioned many times, is not modified in future at all. So in the scene 1 we need to prepare some kind of graphics and some kind of pattern. Okay, so we'll start with some shape layer, and this will be the rectangle with some size. Most of the shapes that finally look very interesting are start from the primary shape, like circle, rectangle, and so on. Of course, we need to make a lot of adjustments, and we need to know what to change to get the final shape. So here we also put the rotation, and I will place this rectangle in this, maybe here. Okay. So now we can duplicate the shapes a few times, and we will decrease the size, and I will put them random to get the nice looking effects. Always remember to put the anchor point in the middle, and we will just change some opacity for some of them to get the smooth transition between them, and to also present the background. Okay, and the second shape we'll place here. Also we'll change the opacity, and the last one okay with the stroke this time, and you can see that this look really nice, and opacity will also decrease. Okay, and we have all the shapes finally done, and we need to add the gradient effect, gradient ramp. And now with these effects we can change this gradient point to change the strength of this gradient ramp, and of course the next will be colors, so we will also change the colors. But now for each shape I will just try to find the correct placement for this gradient control point. Okay, okay, so as you can see, it look quite nice. And of course the animations. So we will start with the scale. So at the beginning the scale we will set to 0, and after a few seconds the scale will be to 0.1. And of course you can see that the scales start from a different point. This is because we again also need to set the correct anchor point for each shape layer. So you must be sure that anchor points are placed in the center. And some easy E. Okay, so now you can see that we have the final shapes, and maybe we can also tweak uh, the control points, okay, to find the correct way for the animation. So we need to change the position of the keyframe, and we'll pre-compose all the shapes, and I will write the pattern. Okay, so for the pattern, the next effect will be the tint to change the color. So black map to dark blue and white to orange. And as you can see right now, this is how it's look like. So it is look quite nice. So we have the main pattern that will use it in most of the scene. But I would like to also copy this pattern and move it to the opposite direction, to the opposite corner. So as you can see, when I duplicate it, I have a problem because it's cut off in the middle. This is because our pattern first, the composition settings is set to small value, so we will increase it to 3000 and 3000. After increase the size, you can see that when we move our pattern, and now the pattern will get the fully shapes which is not cut off. So right now I can use it also on the opposite corner. You will also notice that the stroke on the left top corner is to orange. This is because I need to change the gradient color, so I will select the shape layer 4, and I will move of course the gradient control points, and now we have the correct one, and it will be more similar to our pattern. Okay, so the next in the next exercise we will add the text.